Hello YouTube, this is J Coder back with another stream, and today I would like to go over a alarm clock app with you guys. It's an open source, very popular alarm clock app, and I want to go over it and let's check it out together in the stream. And if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like this video, comment, and let's get started. Okay, so what I have for you guys today is I have an open source alarm clock app for Android, and it's actually on the actual Google Play Store right now, but it's called Simple Alarm Clock, and I'm gonna read some of this so we can get familiar with it. It's a simple alarm clock is an alarm clock for Android smartphones and tablets that brings pure alarm experience to you by combining powerful features and clean interface. The interface of our alarm clock is designed to be simple, intuitive, and efficient. By removing what is non-essential, we make access to everything you need easier. And here are some of the features. It has low volume, gentle alarm, which starts sometime before the main alarm. A cool time picker, like a Jelly Bean, no more spinning, only phone style keyboard. Volume fade in and vibrations starting only after completed fade in. Snooze for some time with one click, or to snooze to select a time without time picker. Long click to dismiss prevents accidental alarm dismiss. Long click on snooze button for adjustable snooze time with a convenient time picker. And yeah, and it's open source. The application code is branched from AOSP, and it is open source. Additional feature requests are appreciated. You can submit bug reports and features by sending an email to the developers. And yeah, so it's also on Google Play, and I want to just show you guys this. It's called Simple Alarm Clock on Google Play, and it has over 1 million downloads, and it has a 13.3K reviews. Very good rating. So I would think this is a quality project for people to take a look at, since it has so many actual users, and it it has over 1 million downloads. That means it must be working pretty functionally solidly, if that was the case. Because if it was buggy, then it would definitely have bad reviews and probably not over 1 million users. So yeah, so that's very interesting. It's a very popular alarm clock app, and so I want to go ahead and show you guys. You guys can Android Studio, and so I just wanted to go over like the code, some of this code here, so that we can take a look. So looks like the code is usually in this one. This one's the test, the UI, and the unit test folders. This one's the main project folder. Usually, there's a structure like this. This is where you find the code, and I think this is probably good quality production level code if you guys have never seen that before. But yeah, and I would encourage you guys to, look at open source production level applications like this. And then I would also challenge you guys to add a new feature or make a change to it in order to get some good practice in. So they have this, it looks like they have this file called alarm application, and it has a class alarm application. And I'm thinking it's probably kind of like their main centralized class. They have, the class here that inherits I Dex application. Okay. And then there's this one here, alarm application init. That's an object they have. And so it's handling different things right here. Started alarm SDK, and then they have alarms. I'm sure they have like the stored alarms in storage so that it can retrieve what alarms are have been saved to the system. And then they have this file called container. Uh, let's see, it has scope.logger, coin.logger, start coin. Then they have this code in there. And okay, so they have a view model, which is good. Each application should have a view model, especially a sizable one. The view model, usually is the middleman between the data and the user interface. So, okay, and they're doing some setup here, alarm scheduler, data store, some kind of data storage going on. They're using coroutine scope. Coroutines is very important in Android development, which allows multi-threaded programming. Then they're doing factories, which factory pattern is pretty good. A pretty good pattern in Android development. Then they have the SQLite database query. So they're using probably the local database in this kind of storage right here. And then was this volume preference demo? Volume preference, something to do with the volume. Start coin. I'm not quite sure what coin is, but sounds like it's being used there. Inject, probably dependency injection, and so it has this code here: global logger, Java injects. Okay, and then they have this folder called data alarm database helper. So, it looks like they have a table with the ID, hour, minutes, days of week, alarm time, enabled, vibrate, message, alert, pre alarm, and state. Okay, so they're making the actual database table in the SQLite database on the local device. And okay. And they have this one called Alarm Provider, where they have this thing, URL matcher, add URI. Okay. Invalid URL, percent %s, and then there's a get type, update, insert, delete. So this probably, um, is the thing that accesses the database with these different methods: the update, the insert, and the delete. And then there's one called columns. Columns, base columns. Has a lot of constant variables here where message enabled, alarm time, maybe that's some kind of ID that they're using. Uh, they're using, they're putting it in here. Alarm, query columns, then alarm ID index, and they have indexes for assigned to each type. All right. And then they have this SQLite database query. And yeah. And so then they have alarm repository. And it has these things in it. An interface called alarms repository, which is we thought we went over one called alarm. Oh yeah, this is the interface, the same name of the folder. Alarm store, alarm.modify, alarm tone. So this says silent. This says default, and so I'm assuming it's something to do with the tone, out of like silent default and system default. For migration from content provider, content providers, something from the system, and so they have the default, the silent, and system default. And then alarm value, they have a date time format right there. Skipping set state. And then this one is with change data, with enabled. And so you're introduced to it. And then the more and more you get used to it, the easier it becomes to modify it and to add new features and modifications. And they have one called calendar type: normal, snooze, pre-alarm, auto silence. And they have a data store alarm repository, and which takes in the logger, alarm values, data store, and the initialized data store alarm repository has that. Alarm by ID state. And yeah, you wouldn't think an alarm clock app would have so much code, but it's probably a little bit more sophisticated of an application than one might think, um, of the different logic that you have under the hood. Okay, and then this one's data store migration. This one's days of the week data class. Yeah, days of the week. Then this is like a two-string utility to convert con- convert it to string. I bet, and then get next alarm with cleared with set, and then prefs is 24-hour format, pre-alarm duration, pre-alarm volume, snooze duration. Yeah, different settings here inside the preferences. Okay, and that was the stores folder, and then they have the domain, and then they have the state machine, and I'm gonna look at this one called alarms inside the domain folder. Looks like it has preferences, start, refresh, on time set, get alarm, create new alarm. Okay, enable, create alarm, drop, insert alarms, migrate database, and then alarm setter, and fire now method, a set an exact alarm, remove an exact alarm, and it sets strategy for version. Okay, and then they have different actions here: action fired, action inexact fired, extra ID, extra type, alarm scheduler. Then they have alarm state notifier. Yeah, it's quite a large code base. I would encourage you guys to take a look at it. And yeah, and if you even want to do some open source contributing, you can add a feature to it, and yeah, or modify it to your own liking, or use it for learning purposes, or to be a foundation of your own alarm clock app. But yeah, this shows you thoroughly how it is done. If you are interested in alarm clock applications, they might not be as popular as they were when Android first came out, because, of course, there is a built in alarm clock. But where you can come in, if you so choose, is to make it better than the default alarm clock and give it some kind of extra feature that no one else, that the regular alarm clock does not give by default, so that you can give your customers a purpose to use your alarm clock. And so looks like this says this is the UI. Is he using views or is he using Jetpack Compose? I don't see any composables, so this might be using views. Yeah, because it's has a fragment, so it's not using compose. Another challenge is if you guys so choose is to take this code and convert it to Jetpack Compose instead of views. There's quite a bit inside the UI. Settings, on create menu, set display home, return true, a theme picker, time picker, presenter, toast, which is toast is a pop up. Don't press with parent layout. Util folder. Okay. And resources. The different icons. The different layouts. Yeah, these are the different views. And a good challenge would be to change these different views to use Jetpack Compose instead of the regular XML layouts, which I think they both have their advantages and disadvantages. Even though Jetpack Compose is quite modern, sometimes I feel like views you still have a little bit more control over the UI because you can kind of come at it at multiple ways through the code and through this visual interface where Jetpack, it doesn't seem like you have like, you can't really go over there and adjust these different attributes to your liking. You do it all through code, which is still good, but and Jetpack Compose is more powerful where it's easier to make a list instead of having so much code to write a recycler view or a list or anything like that. With Jetpack Compose, you can achieve that same thing with only a few lines, which is nice. Uh, all right. So, yeah, pretty much looked through the code, and now finally, I would like to go ahead and run the application, and then we can see what it looks like really quickly. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can simply add new alarms to it. You can turn on alarms, and it says alarm set for 7 hours and 47 minutes from now. That would be at 12 a.m. You can do a plus. Then you can set a new alarm at 2:56 p.m. Then you can set that to OK. Yeah, that's a pretty good interface. And then before you completely set it, you have some options here, which you can choose when it will repeat, what date it will start, and delete after dismissed or not. And then you can choose your ringtone, which is quite nice. Gentle pre alarm, you can turn that on. And you can even give it a label and set that. Then you have it to OK. And okay, I hit the back button. Gotta so yeah, that was a little bit of a strange interaction when I hit plus. Uh, it might not have saved because I set the date to in the past, but let me just hit OK. Yeah, it didn't set because last time because I set it to a past date, which that's good that it checks for that. And then you have the settings, send a bug report, say thanks, share, and then settings you have the alarm, uh, alarm volume, and skip alarm notification, fade in duration, snooze duration, auto silence, and then right here you have the plus. Well, yeah, we saw the plus, and then yeah, hit cancel, and then down here you can change the theme. and the layout style to whatever you like the best. And then you can also change the color here, which is pretty nice as well. They have, several dark options, and then they have a light option, and they have that option. So, yeah, perhaps another challenge you could do is to add a new interface theme for practice. Well, yeah, this is the alarm clock application I wanted to show you. I'll in the comments I'll list where you can download it on GitHub, the source code, and you guys can play around with it for yourself and get much needed Kotlin learning and practice from it. And well, that's what I wanted to show you guys for today. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, stay coding. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.